Hi there, it's Ruth Pringle here, English language coach for you, sharing a practical exercise that will help your English language learning. What I have to share with you today is a 10-minute clip of a beach that I took recently near Edinburgh in Scotland. What I'd like you to do is watch the clip with the volume turned down, so in about 15 seconds turn down the volume, and then as you watch the clip, make as many true sentences about what you can see as you can. You might be using the present simple. You're very likely to be using the present continuous to describe the actions of the people on the beach. And in certain places, you can also use the present perfect as well. A woman is walking across the beach towards the sea. She is wearing a long sleeve t-shirt, but her legs are bare. Perhaps she's going swimming. Now she's reaching her hand out to a young child who turns round and then runs into the sea with her following. A group of sea kayakers are waiting on the beach. One of them is putting waterproof trousers on. A few of them are talking. They look like they're waiting to go out into the water. The beach is quite empty. It's not a full beach. There's a few people using it, but not many. A couple walk to the water. A woman with 2 children is getting a boat or a paddleboard ready by inflating it. There's a big pump and one of the children is pumping air into the object lying on the beach. A family group are in the water, near the edge of the water. The canoeists are still talking, and a lady is taking photos of the group. In the distance, a dog is running on the beach. The family are still pumping up the object, and we can see a couple walk towards the water. The man is wearing a wetsuit. There's a tent on the beach. Somebody is camping on this beach. The man in the wetsuit and the woman with the sort of windbreaker clothing. It's beachwear. It's designed to keep swimmers warm after they come out of the water. Have walked towards the water's edge, and they are standing talking to each other and looking at the water. I think they're even holding hands briefly there. Now the woman runs away from him, back up the beach. The sea canoeists are moving their boats into the edge of the water. They are carrying the boats with 2 people. So even though they're individual boats, it takes 2 people to move the boats to the water's edge. So they're taking it in turns to move all the boats into the water. 2 people lift up the yellow boat and take it in. And there's just one boat, a white boat, still left to be taken into the water. Now, 2 people are lifting it and carrying it down into the water. One canoeist is walking purposefully away from the others, and the rest of the canoeists set off into the water in their individual boats. The couple who are wearing beach clothes, so the man's wearing a wetsuit, is now running into the water up to somebody who's either in a canoe or holding on to a paddleboard. I think it's a paddleboarder, but somebody who's not standing on the paddleboard. Well, there's two people who seem to be leaning on the paddleboard with their legs in the water and their arms and shoulders out of the water, and the man seems to be assisting them with their boat. The woman is watching with her arms behind her back. The sea kayakers are mostly all in the water and gently paddling out to sea. There's still one boat which is left on the beach. It probably belongs to the woman who turned and ran suddenly up the beach. The man in the wetsuit is back out of the water and seems to be taking a photograph of the woman who is wearing the windproof jacket on the beach. The photographer is taking photos. The photographer is taking photos of the canoeists, who by now are all out to sea, except for the one who is missing. The family with a paddleboard. The children are now wearing life jackets, and one of the children has picked up the pump and has started to continue pumping air into the paddleboard. A couple walk up the beach, taking their time, stopping to look around. And a dog is now running around near the last canoe. Its tail is wagging and it seems very excited and happy about being on the beach. It breaks into a run. It is running up the beach. The final canoeist has returned with a paddle, and she is walking towards her boat. The sea kayaker reaches into her boat and takes something, and she's now dragging the boat into the water. The couple with the dog walk across the beach with the dog running around. The last sea kayaker is now in her boat, and she is just in the process of getting into the open sea. It's a shallow beach, which means it is a little tricky getting into the water from the sand by yourself. So she's using her arms to push herself along, and then as soon as the boat starts floating, she's able to use her paddle to get a bit of momentum and get started. So she's now floating in the water and paddling to catch up with the other sea canoeists. The photographer walks across the beach to join the group that is wearing wetsuits and beach clothes. Another family are at the water's edge. They don't look like they're going to go swimming. They're holding their shoes in their hands and they are paddling in the edge of the sea. The family with the paddleboard. It's now the woman who is finishing off inflating the paddleboard. The pump gets a little bit stiff, probably too difficult for the children to do at this stage. One of the children is lying on her back and the other is helping her put her aqua socks on. The paddleboard looks almost ready to go in the sea. So how did you get on with this English exercise? You can let me know in the comments, and also if you've enjoyed this video, please do leave a comment or a like. This helps other people to find this channel. If you haven't already, please do subscribe.